Russo-Italiano sponsors Boxing Bros UK.
Hello everybody, this is Boxing Bros UK. I am the boss Chris. This is my co-host Andrew, the Boxing Brain. The topic of the day is...
Hi guys.
Yes, wow. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. The agreement is in place. So normally we don't like to report on shit unless it's finalized, signed. But
yes,
considering that Turkey Al Sheikh is the one who owns Ring Magazine, and he's the one who's paying the fighters, and if he's putting out a Ring Magazine, the magazine that he owns, you kind of got to kind of believe that it's happening, because he wouldn't do it and discredit his own magazine if it wasn't happening. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's a very good point, Chris. We spoke about this morning, didn't we? And it's a very good point. This would be a good source to go to moving forward. Now Turkey's taken this over. If this new, like you say, to reiterate what you say and what you've already said, if that's being released, agreement in place, sounds like sort of gentleman's handshake. Yes, we're good to go. Yeah. We just need to finalise the paperwork. That's kind of what it sounds like to me, right? It's there. Yeah. They just need to get together and sign the dotted line.
Yeah, that's it. And like I said before, Turkey wouldn't put it out in his own magazine if it wasn't true. For me,
no. Well, he'd have egg on his face otherwise, Chris, wouldn't
he? Exactly. And it's is it going to be I think, is it a Ring Magazine card, or is it a Riyadh season card? Not Ryder.
I think it's going to be. Well, it's going to be in. I think it's going to be in Las Vegas somewhere, isn't it? Is it LA or Las Vegas?
Yeah,
I've got one of them. Yeah. It's going to be in Las Vegas. I'd imagine it's going to be some sort of ring card. I mean, it's going to. Well, I mean, they could put a load of bums on the undercard. You could fly me out to watch that, and I guess that's. I mean, how great is this, though, Crew? We'll get on because I've got a couple of questions that I want to ask you, and then I'll answer as well. But how good is it, though, that we're starting to get this stuff happen now? We're two pound-for-pound legends in the modern era are getting together, you know, where this is looking like it's pretty much going to happen. Like 10, 20 years ago, I don't think this would have happened. In fact, I know it wouldn't. Generally, it doesn't.
Look at and do you know the worst thing as well? In Canelo, he was being a stubborn fucker as well, weren't he? He was like, "No, I don't like the way Turkey does business. I'm Canelo, blah blah blah." Soon changed his tune. But well, before you go to your questions, I've got something to tell you. So basically, I can't believe this. But it's come out on Boxing News, which is kind of credible. Apparently, win or lose, Canelo's fighting Jake Paul next after this fight. Win or lose.
No, it's not because I was looking because I handle our Insta, Chris, as you know, you handle our Twitter. Right, whenever I'm going on there to put our bits of our shorts on there and to update our stories and putting stuff on there, I spend a bit of time. I kept seeing this the last 2 days, this coming out, that they reckon, and then I watched the YB boxing. You know, I know he's a little bit clickbaity, but if you're watching YB, I like your stuff. You're entertaining. So that's the main thing. He reported this yesterday that because I think this isn't going to be until September, and they was talking about either the Jake Paul happening before, or I'm thinking, what? So the Jake Paul thing's actually happening? Like really? Surely not. Is this real?
It can't be. Do you know what though? He's
going to get murdered, Chris.
I don't believe so, mate. I bet you any money. I think Jake Paul's got that much dough that he can pay Canelo to carry him for 10 rounds and retire and make it a draw or something. Oh. I can see that happening. I really can. I really can. I can see it happening.
That's a terrible look for Canelo. Why would Canelo? I know money talks. I'm not naive, Chris. I understand. But if that's true, and I know there've been people talking about this, that it could be a fucking absolute stink the place out, Canelo paid off. But for his own legacy and integrity, I mean, he's got to get in there and fucking smash him to bits. But
the thing is,
probably be
so
18 out club.
Do you know, like, the worst thing is about it is, years ago, yeah, when people was mentioned, when Jake Paul was calling out Canelo was saying, I only fight real boxers. I'm not interested. Fuck Jake Paul, he's an idiot. I wouldn't even hire him as a sparring partner, all that shit. And then now, since Canelo got beat by Bivol, it's like he's just going. He's just got his he's got his black and white stripy outfit on, his bandana, mate, and he's getting that swag wherever he can for fuck all.
Yeah,
he's not.
Do you know
he's
what,
not
Chris,
taking his boxing serious.
I'm glad you brought that up, right? Because Canelo, he'll still go down as a legend. I hope you don't do the Jake Paul fight, and if he does, he's got to be. Well, the thing is, the only way it's going to happen if it's on Jake Paul's terms and, like you say, some sort of agreement in place, an exhibit or whatever. But Canelo's career, he's had a great career. Like, he was a bit young when he fought a 37-year-old Mayweather. You know, he had that trilogy with Triple G, which is, you know, which you can argue the obviously outcomes of that. You know, he dared to be great, went up, gone all the way up. I mean, he started out a welter or super welter back in the day, didn't he? Whatever it was. Fucking hell.
Super welterweight. Super welter.
All the way up to light heavyweight, beat a decent version of Kovalev, then went in there against Bivol. And I think that Bivol defeat, I think he realised he bit off more than he can chew, which I think is why he won't fight Benavidez a light heavy either. Because I think he's kind of gauged it's going to be too big, especially if Benavidez, the weight bully, loves to rehydrate. By the time these, you know, Bivol, he's a natural light heavyweight, Chris. And you could see the difference in there. You know, Canelo, fair play, gone up all those weight divisions. But he, ever since then, like fighting his mandatories, Edgar Bumlanger, sorry, Belanga, but, you know... You know, like decent, you know, good fighters, but he's gone from fighting Bivol, Kovalev, Triple G, right, all these guys to fighting like Belanga and Mongear and just honouring his mandatories and just taking paydays. It's just I'm glad he's taking the Crawford fight. Looks like it's happening. That to me is a sign of intent. But the Jake Paul thing, mate, I hope that ain't true.
But saying that though, just to kick a man while he's down, the only reason why he's taking it is because it's a good legacy fight with the odds in his favour. Because obviously Crawford's a fucking light middleweight or super welterweight, whatever you want to call it.
I'm going to ask you a question on that, so hold that thought in a bit. Unless there was anything else we wanted to say.
No, let's move on. Move on to the fight.
So, a couple of questions I've got before we do, because we might as well do some. We'll fit. I know it's a long way off and it hasn't been signed on the dotted line, but before we end the video, let's give our general, maybe early predictions of how we think it might go, just for a bit, you know, a bit of fun.
Yeah, why not?
Do you think, my first question is, the winner of this fight, does it completely cement their legacy, or is their legacy already intact? Where are you with that?
So, if the winner of this fight, if it's Crawford, hell yeah, it does. If it's Canelo, not so much, because they're going to say Crawford started at 135 pounds. Yeah. And at light middleweight, he's not been as destructive as he was at 147. So they're just going to say Canelo's doing his usual shit, bringing people up a few weight classes down, like Amir Khan, like Charlo, bringing them up because they've got a name to knock him out and look good when he knows that he's too big and strong for him because we've got weight classes for a reason. That's what they'll say about this fight for me.
It's difficult for me, my own answer to it, to disagree with that, because I know Canelo's come up But the difference is where I'm at with this, and you probably agree. I know Canelo's come through the divisions over the years, but he's spent a lot of years at super middle, and he's been as high as light heavyweight and won a title at light heavyweight, come back down to super middle, and you know this as someone, again, I always use your S&C coaching, your physical background and the rest of it. He's grown into that mass, he's grown into that body. You know, Crawford's only just starting to do this. And also, let's be honest, let's call a spade a spade. He didn't look great against Madrimov. Madrimov looked big and strong in there, and I think Crawford struggled a little bit at times in that fight.
Yeah.
And that, let's make note, if all you casuals out there, I'm on a rant, Andrew's on a rant again. If all you casuals out there think Crawford's going to wipe the floor with Canelo and spark him out, you don't understand boxing. There's absolutely no way he's going to be able to come up 2 weight divisions against a naturally big, strong super middleweight where Canelo's dominated now for years. Absolutely, that ain't happening. It will be a points win, if anything. So I kind of agree. If Crawford wins, he for me goes in probably the top 3 of all time, perhaps. Maybe he's already in that conversation already. If Canelo wins, it's still a great victory, but it's like he's the much naturally bigger man. So, and we have weight divisions for a reason. So I kind of agree with you.
So, Andrew, next question for us.
Yeah, so we already sort of discussed this anyway, and I think we sort of answered it, but I'll reshape the question. So how much of a difference is the weight going to be in this fight, do you think? Because I'll let you answer first, but I think we're pretty much going to agree. But yeah, how much is the weight going to play a pivotal factor in this?
Oh, big. It's going to play a big part. And like Crawford's got fast feet, but if they're not that fast, if he wants to beat Canelo, he's going to have to move around the ring like Bivol, because he can't stalk him, close him down. He's going to have to move around a lot, and I don't know if he's got them kind of legs at 37 or 36, whatever, however old he is. And obviously, his power didn't carry up to light middleweight, so it's definitely not carrying up to super middleweight, 100%. So I just don't. So it's going to make a big difference for power anyway. For Crawford, he's not going to have anything to keep Canelo honest, really.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer, to be fair. I'm trying to, because I like to we try and play devil's advocate. It's one of those with this where I think you're going to get, I don't know with the casuals really, but I think there's going to be some Crawford fanboys up there that think he's going to be able to move up to super mid. And at 168, that he's not even had. By the way, I know that he's got a lot of time, September at the end of the year, to acclimatise to the weight. I'd imagine straight away he'll be working with his S&C coach and dietitian to get comfortable at that weight. I don't know what he walks around at, right? But you look at these light heavyweights and stuff, like
I do.
They're probably walking around 200 pounds. Canelo's probably walking around 180, 190. I don't know.
Well, apparently, So apparently, that I think after them, I think it was the Madrimov fight. I can't remember, but Crawford rehydrated to like 170, 170 pounds.
Yeah.
So that's what he rehydrates to. So he probably walks around at about.
So he's but this is the thing. He's only rehydrating to 2 pounds over the super middleweight limit.
Yeah.
So exactly. Do you know what I mean? Me and you walk around about 250 pounds easy. Do you know what I mean? But he, I think I'm trying to make. The thing is for Crawford, right? He's going to be closer to 38 by September. I think he's got very good feet, although I don't think he's got the best feet in the business. So he's not got as good a feet as Lomachenko, Usyk, Bivol. He's not got as good a feet as them. He's really good at spoiling the other fighter. His spoiling tactics are good, and You know, he's really good at negating what his opponent does. He's very good at that. His IQ is incredibly high. So
Yeah.
I know we're not sitting here, me and Chris aren't sitting here writing Crawford off, but it will be a point win. And I think a bit like what Wilder used to say in his prime, all of the fighters he fought had to be switched on for 12 rounds. He only had to be switched on for 10 seconds because of that right hand. Crawford's going to have to be switched on all fight long. And I will get onto our predictions in a minute. I've just got this feeling for that fight that eventually Canelo's going to get to him at some point in that fight, late on.
Yeah.
So
sure.
yeah, I agree with you. I can't disagree because it's just a fact. I think
it's like Canelo's, because the thing is, the attributes to beat Canelo, where he's been beat or nearly been beat, like questionable decisions, is Bivol, the fast feet and the fast hands combinations. That's not, and then you've got Mayweather.
Yeah, in and out.
But I think when he fought Mayweather, he was a baby. He's moved on so much as a fighter from that stage that I don't think that kind of Mayweather style where counter punching, making him miss, making him pay, moving around like he could win, but I don't think Terence Crawford should watch that fight and think, yeah, this is the game plan, because it's not. I think he's gonna have to be able to. He can move quicker and his hands are a bit faster, but then he hasn't got fast hands like combinations like Bivol. Crawford is a bit more like Mayweather, where it's single or couple shots that he lands. That is how can I explain it? So you've got people with fast hands like Amir Khan, and then you've got someone like Mayweather who's got that lead right hand that's like a spear, and he throws it really, really fast. It's only one punch.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So Crawford, he fights kind of similar.
Like, yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. The way he kind of controls people with that right hand. I think the other factor for me that's just come into my head, and we saw this against Callum Smith when he fought Callum Smith, who's a durable guy. I know, look, people can argue he's going to be a few years younger than Crawford. People forget. I know Canelo's had 60-odd fights. Feels like he's been around as long as I've been alive. Like, he's still only 34, 35. He's not as old as what you would think.
People think, yeah.
And I know he's lost a step, maybe a little bit, but he still hits very, very hard. And even if, Crawford, who's defensively, he can be hit, Crawford. That's the thing. People think he's a technical genius, and he is a technical genius, but he does get hit with a few shots here and there, Chris. He's not as, I wouldn't say he's defensively as astute as what, say, someone like a Bivol is. Bivol is a really nice, tight guard, in and out of range, great judge of distance. He does get clipped, and I think Canelo, he'll hit you on the arms, he'll hit you on the elbows, shoulders, on the hands, and he'll start to bruise up. He'll start to bruise up those arms. And my worry for Crawford is he could start hurting him to the body, to the arm. The guard starts to come down because he's hurting everywhere, and then he gets clipped with a big sort of overhand right. That's how I kind of see it going. But I think Canelo's going to bully him a bit in there, or try to at least. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I just think that it's going to be like, I don't think it's going to be a great fight, because I think the only way Crawford's going to win is by using his spoiling tactics, using his feet, using everything he's got in his locker. Because, like you say, he gets hit quite a bit. You only have to look at the Sean Porter fight. Yeah. He was. I think he was down on the cards in that fight, if I'm not wrong. And then, obviously, he came through. And he didn't even stop Sean Porter. His dad threw the towel in. But he did knock him down. And
that. Didn't he? But do you remember when Sean Porter got dropped the first time? I'm sure it was that fight. He was so frustrated with himself, wasn't he? Yeah, I think it was that.
Yeah, it was. And I just think Canelo, I'm not Canelo, I think Crawford can win, but he's got to use everything he's got. His spoiling tactic, his speed, his reflexes. And the one good thing about Crawford is, and this is why the Madrimov fight was a bit cagey, and Kell Brook actually alluded to this. So like you said before, his ring IQ. So when Crawford's setting traps, he sets traps, and if you don't go for the trap because you know what he's doing, then he doesn't go, and then that's how you end up with rounds where people are just walking around posturing, fainting, and not really throwing much because he's like, "Oh, you're not going for it. You're not going for it. Shit, I need to set another trap." Do you know?
Yeah.
So, and that's why the Madrimov fight was so bad, because Madrimov was doing all his feints, and he was hesitating, trying to set. So would Crawford. So that's why it came to like a feint off and a posturing, and who can outslip the other and outslip the other. But Canelo.
The thing is, you're right in your analysis there, Chris, because if you allow, I don't think Canelo's going to allow him to do that. But although Canelo's slowed down a bit, his legs aren't quite what they were. You know, he's a great closer. He's a great hammer, not in Beterbiev's level of, I would say he's the greatest closer I've ever seen. The way he closes off the ring and just gets you in the corners on the ropes.
Yeah,
I mean, Canelo's good at that. He's not as good as he was, because I think his engine, I don't think Canelo's tank is what it was. So, but I think I've forgotten what I was going to say. But I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a tough. It'll be a tough night for Crawford. Should we sort of end it on our general early predictions? What are you going with, Chris? Where if this fight was tomorrow, what would happen?
Yeah. So if this fight was tomorrow, oh man, this is so hard. Because one other thing I wanted to make just before, what in Crawford's favour, even though he's moving up to weight classes, every time he's fought at the elite level, he's always been fighting people who are bigger than him, who's been at the weight longer than him, who are stronger than him, always. And he's got some sort of Mong strength, where he's this tiny, skinny guy, but he's just really physically strong. And it's like when small fighters, they're always used to fighting taller people. They're used to it. Crawford is always used to fighting people who are supposed to be bigger and stronger than him. Obviously, this is two weight classes at once. One, but he's still got that in him. So I'm going to say Canelo, but if Crawford won, I won't be like, wow, this is the biggest upset in the world, because I do believe Crawford can beat him for that reason.
Well, and that was what I was going to say. I think if you allow it to be a chess match, then Crawford will play a pretty good game of chess, and Canelo can't play a chess match in with it. His tactics have got to be on the front foot, educated pressure, feel him out the first couple of rounds, feel what Crawford, as he got that punch power at super middleweight. Canelo's got a great chin. I always remember, him and Triple G, one of the greatest chins of our generation. He can't allow it to be a chess match. If it's a chess match, Canelo's having an off night, a really bad off night. I can see Crawford winning, but I think Canelo's going to be too strong, hits too hard. I think he will catch Crawford, and I think he might stop him late, like maybe even the 12th round. But I've also got points in my head, Canelo, but yeah, I think Canelo might stop him.
Yeah. So you're going for? I'm going for Canelo stoppage. Yeah, Canelo late stoppage as well.
Oh, you didn't get your final. So you think Canelo late stoppage?
Yeah, because if he wins, I think Crawford's going to burn himself out, moving, shaking, moving around, having to outwork Canelo to win the rounds and all that. And it might take its toll. And later in the fight, he's not going to have enough, and Canelo's going to still be there.
Do you think TKO? Do you think the towel might come in, or you just it will stop him somehow?
Out and out KO. Because Crawford's a warrior.
Really?
I don't think towels will come in now.
Yeah, I agree. I very much doubt. I mean, we know fighters have that conversation in their camp about what they don't. Some fighters are okay with it on the trainer's discretion. Other fighters will say, "Let me go out on my shield." Yeah, I think he almost might be. I can almost envisage the ref waving it off with Crawford just being out on his feet, just completely out on his feet, gone. That's how I've got that picture in my head. Could age like milk, but you know we put our necks on the line, Chris. That's what we're here for.
We do. Let's see how it turns out. So great news. Excited for the fight. I'm glad it's finally signed. And Canelo's fighting a decent opponent for once.
Well, almost signed.
Well, not for once, but
and let us know
for recent times. For recent times.
Yeah, and let us know in the comments. Please, you know, hit us loads of comments. Tell us we're talking shit. Tell us how Crawford's going to win. That Canelo's washed up. You know, like and subscribe, all that stuff. Tell us we're bullshit.
Like
we don't mind. We can
like and subscribe.
We've got chins like Canelo, mate. We can take it.
Love.